Here's my persuasive speech on abortion. As a woman in the United States, I have always seen abortion as a basic right that all women have. It has always been a very controversial topic that people have differing opinions on. However, I never imagined that they would take these opinions and create them into laws. As it is our own bodies, I never thought others would have a say in what I'm doing with my own body, especially not forcing people to have children they do not want. The thought of people controlling what I can and cannot do with my own body, as well as the women around me, is a very frightening thought. This is why abortion should be legal in the United States. You should know that over 22,000 women annually die from unsafe abortions. This is a terrible yet avoidable statistic that is only going to rise if abortions are made illegal. This is exactly why abortion should be legal and accessible. Therefore, we are first going to explore how women are going to continue having abortions, whether they are legal or not. In an article about the ethical importance of abortions written by journalist Joseph Boyle, he refers to the statistics on how banning abortion does not prevent them. According to journalist Joseph Boyle, in countries where abortion is illegal, more women have abortions than in countries where abortion remains legal. Joseph Boyle also talks about how abortion rates are more closely tied to access of contraceptive methods rather than the accessibility of abortions. So, if the goal is to reduce the number of abortions that women are having, because people believe that it's wrong, then the government should be providing more access to contraceptive methods and better education on the forms of birth control to prevent these unwanted pregnancies. This would be much more effective than simply banning abortions. This is because if a woman does not want to have a child and does not want to put her body through the hardships of pregnancy, she is going to find a way to have an abortion. Women will travel to other places where abortion is legal, and if they do not have the funds to travel, then they are going to have an unsafe and unhealthy abortion. And this is why so many women die annually from unsafe abortions. So, when abortion is being banned, they are not simply banning all abortions, they are only banning safe abortions. Now that we've discussed how women are going to continue having abortions, whether it's safe or not, we will next explore how many women do not agree with banning abortion and how they should have a say in laws involving their own bodies. In an article on the results from a nationally representative survey, journalist Sarah Raifman refers to how a majority of women and medical professionals do not agree with banning abortion. According to Sarah Raifman, a majority of women aged 18 to 49 living in the United States do not agree with banning abortion. They believe it should remain legal. This is very important to note, as these are the people being directly affected by these abortion policies. Laws and policies against abortion are also not in alignment with the views of the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists. They believe in keeping safe and legal abortions accessible in the United States, and they do not agree with punishing women who have these abortions if they are made illegal. So, I find it very interesting as the medical professionals who have a plethora of knowledge on abortion and are interacting with these women who are having abortions and giving these abortions, that they are not being listened to, as well as the women who are being directly affected by these abortion laws are not having a say in what they are able to do with their own bodies. Women want abortions for a variety of reasons, and it is not only because they only don't want a child. Women want abortions because their contraceptives didn't work, they were raped, they don't have the funds for a child, or medically they need one to save their lives, or they medically need one to be healthy and help them. Women want abortions for several reasons, and even if it's only because they don't want a child, that is the choice that they are going to make for themselves. A woman should not have to give up her body for 9 months and aid a baby that she does not want, because it is her body and her choice. Now, after exploring how women should have a say in laws that involve their own bodies, we will next investigate how the children who are put into foster care are put at a huge disadvantage compared to children who are not in foster care. You should know that after turning 18, 20% of children become homeless after leaving foster care. they are also 7 times more likely to have depression and 6 times more likely to have behavioral problems, as well as many other negative statistics. Of course, the hope is always that when a child is put up for adoption, they'll find a happy and loving home, but many times this is not the case. So, when those who are pro-life say that a woman should not abort the child because they don't have to keep it and can put it up for adoption, they are failing to realize that there are over 430,000 other kids in foster care right now. And they are also looking for a living family to adopt them. However, many of them are verbally and physically abused, not provided with the necessity that every child needs, and have several long-term effects that stay with them after being in foster care for so long. Of course, there are good foster parents and loving people who adopt and treat the children well, but there are way too many issues with foster care for people who are pro-life to say that women should give up the baby for adoption if they aren't ready to be a mother. The argument that people who are pro-life are using is that if a woman does not want a child or is not ready to be a mother, they should still give the fetus an opportunity at life and put them up for adoption. However, time and research show that there is a good chance the fetus may never find a forever home, or they will be treated poorly. So, this opportunity at life isn't as great as some people might make it sound, when there's over 114,000 children per year who don't get adopted, and simply being in the foster care system puts a child at risk for a plethora of horrible things. The foster care system needs to become better and safer before those who are pro-life try to guilt women into keeping a pregnancy they don't want, just for the child to be put into foster care with 400,000 other children who are also suffering and struggling. Maybe the focus shouldn't be on unborn babies, but on the children who are living in this world right now and need more funds and more help. During our time together, I had described how abortions should be legal in the United States. I first discussed how women will continue having abortions whether they are legal or not. Secondly, we explored how women should have a say in laws involving their own bodies. Then lastly, we investigated how the children who are put into the foster care system are at a huge disadvantage compared to children who are not in foster care. So, as we can see, it is important that women have a choice in what they are doing with their own bodies. Otherwise, the number of women who die from abortions will only go up from 22,000, and the goal is always for everyone to be safe and healthy.